That's a great question because what are they basing this number on? If they're basing it on the regular season, I think the Niners should be favored. They had the better regular season. I think the Niners had over, I want to say they had over 10 wins that we won by more than 10 points, I believe, in each game. So we've blown out a lot of teams. The Chiefs had a topsy turvy, regular season. They lost to the Raiders. They they had
That
several
game was
losses.
weird.
Yeah. So it's like, what Chiefs team is going to show up? Also, we had signature wins versus the Eagles, the Cowboys. We were five
Yeah.
and one in the NFC West division. We should have been undefeated, but we didn't need that last game against the Rams. So if we're basing it off the regular season, the Niners should be favored. Now, the playoffs, right? The Niners were what? We were sleepwalking versus Green Bay. You could argue we're sleepwalking versus Detroit, but we managed to squeeze out victories versus those teams, while the Chiefs beat the brakes off them good old Dolphins in KC. Under zero temperatures and all that. They went on the road to beat Baltimore, went on the road to beat Buffalo. You could argue that KC should be favored based off the playoffs, but Vegas, they know what they're doing. All the money that they're able to have to build those casinos is not based on them losing bets, right? They know what they're doing. They win more
Yeah.
often than they lose. So I think they know there's going to be a lot of people from Cali, and the Niner fan base is worldwide. So a lot of people are going to be betting on the Niners to win. And I think that's part of the reason why. Also, you got a second-year quarterback going up against a future Hall of Famer and Pat Mahomes. I would think that the Chiefs should be favored, but hey, it's Vegas. They want people to bet. They want people to be compelled to bet. I think that's what this number does.
Yeah, that
It
is
compels
true.
people to bet.
Yeah, and it's going to make people feel like they have such a certainty and everyone's betting the under. And so they're going to put that is true. I never thought about it that way, that like people are going to put more money because they're more certain about a certain. That
Right.
is a good point.
Do you know what the over under is in the game? The total?
No, I don't look at a ton of betting lines. I know that
Okay.
was like the favorite thing
Okay.
or like whatever it was.
If I had to
So,
guess, it would probably be someone who can help us in the chat. If I had to guess, the
yeah.
total over under probably I would say like 45, maybe 44. Because I think this could be a low scoring game. I don't think
Yeah.
either team, unless there's if there's a defensive touchdown, maybe it would go over 30. But if not, if there's no defensive touchdown, I don't see it. I think it's going to be under that amount.
I hope there's not a defensive. Well, I mean, I guess on our side, but like last year, there's Nick Bolton recovered a fumble and returned it for a touchdown, and then that kind of swung the game for the Eagles in the Chiefs' favor. And I mean, it's like I guess we'll get into it later with Steve Wilkes, but I honestly would still consider them underdogs just because. Well, honestly, I don't know if I consider them underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
I would say on paper, they are the better team.
Right.
I think it really just comes down to who has more time of possession, and I don't know. I think I'm not sure why. I think Vegas, like you said, with that you made a good point, but I think if they control time of possession and whatever on paper, they really should beat the Chiefs. But this playoffs, like you said, has really turned a lot of people's heads towards the Chiefs. But
I mean, yeah. When you look at the Niners real quick, and two people in the chat have said the over under is 47.5. So I would guess it's going to go under that. I would guess. But when you look at the Niners, they've been like the hottest story of the NFL, you could say, through the regular season with Brock Purdy, with CMC, and they've definitely been on the minds of a lot of people this entire regular season, especially the way we ended the season last year. QB got hurt, Philly won, so there's a lot of expectations on this team going into this year, and I think they've met expectations at bare minimum. So I just think they are probably the more popular team, not the most successful team of the last decade comparing the Chiefs, but I just think that there's a reason why Vegas has them. Like you said, the Niners are better on paper, but as far as performances through the playoffs, I mean, it is pretty cool to come back from 21 down, but you shouldn't have to do that against the Lions. They're a hell of a team, but there's no way we shouldn't have been down that many points. But the Chiefs have been better, I think, probably in the playoffs.
Well, and they've shown in the Super Bowl that they can come back. Last year they were down by 14.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like the Niners are underdogs in the fact that, like, even though they're winning, in the fourth quarter, you can never really count the Chiefs out. And it's just like, I know I could understand why people are picking the Chiefs, and they have some very solid points, but it's just like, there are some habits that the Chiefs had. For example, their pass game obviously wasn't great. During the regular season, it was like, if you shut down Travis Kelce, then their offense was almost non-existent. And that version of the Chiefs probably won't reappear, but there is kind of some question to be had. Like, what if that version of the Chiefs does reappear? The version of where the run game isn't as good, they're making mistakes, and Travis Kelce, you just have to hone in on Travis Kelce, and and the offense will kind of break down. Their offensive line isn't that great. So it's like, there are some aspects of this where it's like, maybe I could see why the 49ers win this game, but I also see some great arguments for the other side that the Chiefs win. So
no, absolutely. I like what Kyle